So appreciate you joining us and sharing your thoughts. Thank you so much. Moving on, Iran will hold talks in Rome on Friday with European parties to their now defunct 2015 nuclear deal as Iran seeks to position itself ahead of a new round of US-Iranian negotiations on Saturday. Britain, France and Germany, collectively known as the E3, who stuck to the 2015 deal meant to curb Iran's nuclear activity, which unraveled in 2018 when US President Donald Trump walked out of it during his first term in the White House. Iran is now looking to build on the momentum of the nuclear negotiations with the Trump administration that took place in Oman a while ago and after its talks with Russia and China last week. US and Iranian negotiators will reconvene in Rome on Saturday. On Tuesday, the US Treasury Department imposed new sanctions on what it described as a network based in Iran and China, suspected of procuring ballistic missile propellant ingredients for Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Araqchi, in response, said that the fresh US sanctions during negotiations sent the wrong message. Let's take a look. Let's listen in to what the Iranian foreign minister had to say.
سه کشور اروپایی به نظر من به خاطر سیاست‌های غلطی که اتخاذ کردن در حال حاضر نقششون کم رنگ‌تر شده. ما البته مایل به این قضیه نیستیم، برای همین هم دور بعدی مذاکرات رو آمادگی داریم و اونها در روم برگزار بکنیم. 4 دور تا الان برگزار شده. ما علاقمند هستیم که این موضوع در یک فهم بین‌المللی با یک درک جهانی نسبت بهش حل و فصل بشه و به مذاکرات خودمون ادامه میدیم با اروپایی‌ها، ولی مذاکرات اصلی در حال حاضر با آمریکا.
Professor Madhav Nalapat, the editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, joins us on the program. Professor Nalapat, well, it's apparent that America does not want Iran to have nuclear weapons. Iran has often and constantly stated that, they want to use uranium and these nuclear, whatever technologies, if you can call them that, for generating power. But Donald Trump just a few weeks ago went on to say that no extremist country should be allowed to have nuclear weapons. Well, Pakistan already does. What did America do when Pakistan was trying to figure out that it had to have nuclear weapons, and what kind of a pressure can it exert on Iran, to not have these weapons?
Look, Vineet, Pakistan acquired, frankly, the jury is out as to whether it's their nuclear weapons or nuclear devices. And a nuclear device is a crude device. It's a crude nuclear weapon. And there is, of course, radioactivity. There is a certain degree of casualty, but it's nowhere near a nuclear weapon in lethality. India has an arsenal of nuclear weapons. There's a lot of hype about Pakistan because the effort was to get India to denuclearize, saying, oh my God, look at Pakistan, look at Pakistan. We kept pointing north and saying, sorry, our problem is not really with Pakistan. It's further up north, and they are bristling with missiles and nuclear weapons. So it didn't work. So my point is, on Iran, quite frankly, there's no way the US is going to allow a nuclear, even in my view, a nuclearized Iran or anything near an Iran that can nuclearize. And frankly, the jury is still out as to whether they'll allow even an Iranian nuclear device. So the sanctions are going to continue. Talks are maybe going to continue. The Iranians are quite desperate to end the sanctions. They have been pushed to the wall by the collapse of Hezbollah, by the collapse of Hamas, the military wings of Hezbollah and Hamas, and inside their own Revolutionary Guard, there have been a huge number of casualties inflicted by the Israelis. Now, America may not join the war because of these talks going on, but it is not going to do anything to cease supplying Israel with whatever munitions Netanyahu asked for. And Netanyahu is determined to see that the IRGC completely lose its military edge. So that is the situation. And Donald Trump is very clear. He's going to help Israel, period, no matter what. Already, as I said, you know about those mobile phone bombs and about those mobile device bombs and so many other things. Well, the fact is the Israelis have got quite a few tricks up their sleeve, and they're using all of them, and they'll continue to use them. As for the Americans, they've already said publicly they're going to give full support to the Israelis. So the Iranians want to be serious about this. Under the clerical regime, I'm not very sure what degree of nuclearization is acceptable. Should there be a non-clerical regime, it may be a different matter. But under a clerical regime, it's not acceptable. And remember, as I said, Pakistan, the Clinton administration thought that by allowing Pakistan a certain latitude in developing nuclear devices, not nuclear weapons, can get India to denuclearize its weapons. India, as I said, did not fall for that. And as now it is very clear, the threat is further north. We've got Cold War 2.0 raging. The US is also very clear, and the Europeans are very clear as to what the major threat is. But about Iran, I can tell you, there's no way the Trump administration is going to stop sanctions or in any way unless there's tangible proof that Iran is rapidly, diluting its nuclear assets. So that is a given, Vineet. And the Iranians, I'm afraid, they're expecting a relief and sanctions from Trump. And of course, the foreign minister of Iran, saying it's not helpful. It's helpful to the US interest. It's helpful to the Israeli interest. And according to Trump, the two interests are completely aligned, which may not be far from the truth where Trump is concerned and where US security is concerned. So I'd like to say, I think one has to hold one's breath for quite a while, and I wouldn't advise anyone to do so, but to wait for the US to start releasing some of the sanctions on Iran. I don't think that's going to happen in a hurry unless there's clear, tangible evidence of Iran diluting its nuclear arsenal. As for Iran, well, the reality is, after what, after Donald Trump, after Israel has promised the complete destruction of the clerical regime, I'm not very sure the Iranians are in any hurry to denuclearize. North Korea is certainly not, because they know, as far as Iraq is concerned, Libya is concerned, Syria is concerned, the minute the dictators ruling these countries got rid of their WMD, very, very soon they got attacked. Although they demolished their WMD, handed it over on the explicit promise that they would not be attacked in future. Well, they were attacked. With that kind of history, North Korea, as I said from the beginning, was never going to nuclearize, denuclearize, and Iran, frankly, is going to continue to nuclearize. But so long as it does so, I don't think there'll be really any substantial relief from US sanctions. We need.
Professor Nalapant, always a pleasure having you. So thank you so much for speaking with us.